Hey guys, I'm Daisho, and today I'm going to be commentating over a game of Magic, and it's really funny at the beginning. I forget that my opponent is on the play and I am not, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But anyway, I'm going to lead off with a Throw Parasite, which is a really good way to start this game. I mean, Extorters are just awesome in my deck. I have a good amount of Cipher. I mean, I've got a couple of Last Thoughts, and a couple of Hands of Binding, so, and even a Call of the Nightwing, which I just drew, so that's how I remembered that. And it makes it pretty good in my deck. Anyway, I'm going to lead off, or I'm then going to continue by playing a Duskmantle Guildmage, and that's just immediately really good for me to get off to such a fast start. He's stuck on, he can't find its blue source, and all he's got is a Dimir Keyrune. This was an interesting play for me. I'm obviously going to attack him for 3 here, but I was trying to figure out if I should play my Corpse Blockade or just save it so I can extort off of it later. And I decided to just hold it because I don't really think that the Corpse Blockade is going to be too relevant. It's not like it can attack or anything, so it's just not too useful until I can actually extort off it, and then I'll at least get some value, and I probably won't lose anything by holding it in hand. But it could just be a really long time before I'm actually able to do anything with it, so maybe it was worth it, maybe it wasn't, I don't know. But either way, he's got a Dimir Guildgate here, so he's still only got that one blue source. And for whatever reason, I forget that he can't block here with his Dimir Keyrune, so that was just really stupid. I end up not attacking with my Throw Parasite, which was definitely a mistake. I could have gotten in for an extra free damage, and we'll see if that actually ends up being relevant later on. But I'm just going to hit him with my Duskmantle Guildmage, and he's going to take 2, and I was like, oh yeah, he can't do anything. I forgot about that. And then I'm just going to play a Death Cult Rogue and extort off of it. So that's pretty sweet for me, but he's got a Psychic Strike for that, so a little bit unfortunate, but it was definitely the right play. Just playing the Death Cult Rogue as opposed to playing the Call of the Nightwing or a Last Thoughts. Last Thoughts would have been really bad, especially since I have, or I'm going to be able to get some flyers off the Call of the Nightwing, so, or I hope that I'm going to be able to get some flyers. Generally, it would have been awesome if I was able to keep that Death Cult Rogue, because then I could just have ciphered onto that and then gotten 2 flyers right away, which makes it actually worth it. But he's going to play Prophetic Prism here, sorry, I forgot to put that up. But it's just a Prophetic Prism. All it does is draw a card and fix his mana if he needs to. But that does mean that he basically has whatever colors he needs right now. And he's just playing a straight-up blue-black deck, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, this game is sort of going how I want. I mean, he's not really doing anything to me, and I am hitting him for a bunch. I still have an Extorter out. And Duskmantle Guildmage does, like, eventually win the game as long as I just keep drawing lands. Because once it can start milling and activating its ability to deal damage, that kind of works out. So he's just going to Grizzly Spectacle it now. I guess he doesn't want to keep taking the 2 damage off of it. And he knows that eventually it will win me the game. So he ends up killing it. And now I have some options. I've got a Last Thoughts, a Call of the Nightwing, and a Keymaster Rogue in hand, and I can play any of those and extort, but if I play the Keymaster Rogue and extort, then I can't play the Throw Parasite back down, but I don't know if that's so bad. So if I had just played the Corpse Blockade earlier on in the game, then I could just play the Keymaster Rogue with extort, pick up the Corpse Blockade now. So, I mean, maybe that was relevant. But anyway, I'm going to play Call of the Nightwing with extort. I forget to hit the change the life totals on my my phone, which was keeping track of the life in the game, but the correct life totals are updated on the top left and top right of the corners of the screen. So I'm at 22, he's at 11 basically, even though my phone says otherwise. Anyway, he's now got access to 6 mana plus a Keyrune. He's got a Whispering Madness in hand, which he was really just trying to go all out on that mill plan, and Whispering Madness isn't terrible for if you want to try and mill someone. So, I mean, especially right now, I think I've got 3 cards in hand, so that means I'm going to have to discard 3, draw 3, and then if he attacks me with the Keyrune, discard 3 and draw 3 again. So, Whispering Madness could definitely become an issue later on, but he decides to just Grizzly Spectacle my Call of the Nightwing token, because he knows that if he doesn't get rid of it now, then he's going to be in terrible shape. So I'm just going to mill another one. Sorry I didn't have the graveyard visible, but the camera angle is not the greatest. I don't have one of those super awesome flying cameras like they do in the major Magic tournaments and stuff. But anyway, I decided to play a Keymaster Rogue here with Extort. I could have just, instead of Extorted, played the Throw Parasite again, and maybe that would have been the right play. And I mean, after knowing that he's got a Whispering Madness, it definitely would have been the right play, because then I would have actually had my Thrill Parasite back on the field, but unfortunately, I am going to end up losing it here, because he is going to cast the Whispering Madness. He's going to go down to his Key Rune, and that puts him in pretty good position. I mean, if he's milling me, if he mills me for 8 here, and he does have a lot of other mill in his deck, including a Mind Grind, so I mean that'll just put him in pretty good position. He's like Whispering Madness, and I'm like, okay. So I'm pretty pissed about losing the Thrill Parasite, but I don't mind too much about losing the Last Thoughts. I wasn't going to cast that anyway, because it'll just kill me quicker than my opponent will kill me, or it'll just help my opponent kill me, because he's just trying to mill me anyway. So if I'm drawing cards, then that's not good for me. And right here, I'm just hoping that he likes his hand enough to not Whispering Madness, because my hand is just basically the best I could have asked for. I've got 2 Dimir Charms with both kill his Key Rune. I've got a Devour Flesh, which, as the board sits right now, can kill his Key Rune. And I don't know what that last card is. It might be another Last Thoughts. But either way, those 3 cards are really all I wanted. And it's just, I mean, it'll put me in a much better position if he doesn't attack, and it'll put me in a much worse position if he decides to attack. So anyway, he decides not to attack. He likes his hand enough, so he's not going to do that. And yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't have mana out, because if I did, then I could have end of turn Devour Flesh kill his Key Rune, but I can't Devour Flesh now because he doesn't have any creatures, so he just won't activate his Key Rune. So I'm hoping that he just attacks me here before doing anything. That way I can Devour Flesh, get rid of his Key Rune, and just be happy about that. I would rather not use into Mirror Charm on the Key Rune. I know that it's a possibility that I could do that, but I would rather save it in case I need to counter a Mind Grind, because I think for some reason, I was sitting next to him, and afterwards when we were building, I saw that he told me that he had a Mind Grind or something like that. So I was definitely worried about that, and I was not hoping to come up against it. But anyway, he's going to tap 3 mana here and play his Sage's Rodenizen, which is a little bit annoying. He's got a bunch of those in his deck, I know. He was also talking about that before. And for some reason he's doing this pre-combat. I'm not really sure why. Maybe it was to play around Devour Flesh. But anyway, he's going to play a Realm right here. And now we're going to think a little bit about it, because I need to figure out if I want to get rid of his Sage's Rodenizen. And if so, how? Because I could just Devour Flesh here, but then he gains 3 life, and I'm really close to killing him with that Keymaster Rogue. He's got to find an answer to that within the next 3 turns, or he's actually going to die, even though I think he's at 8, or he's at 7, it doesn't really matter. He's still going to die within a couple of turns. But I just decided to Dimir Charm it, and that way he doesn't gain the life, and it would have just given him an extra turn to find an answer. Unfortunately, though, it basically makes my Devour Flesh dead, because now he can just sack his Realm Right, and that card's pretty useless. But now he's going to activate his Dimir Charm, and then he's going to play a Paranoid Delusions on me. So that'll mill me for 3, and luckily I do have the Dimir Charm. I'm not going to counter the spell, I'm just going to kill it. So I'm going to take another 3 cards, and I should have had like a card counter thing, but I guess I'm way too lazy to do anything like that. But I guess I can try and count now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I think I have about 18 or 19 cards left in my graveyard. And I think I was counting my lands there to see like how close I am to dying to a Mind Grind. But yeah, I think I've got about 19 cards left, so after these 3 it'll be about 16, and I can still kill him quicker unless he's got something like a Mind Grind. But the real issue here is, do I want to use my last Dimir Charm on the Dimir Key Rune? So if I had Devour Fleshed earlier, then I would have 2 Dimir Charms left, and I think I would be better, or I would be in better shape, but it still works. So I'm just going to let him attack. I guess it taps him out more because now his Key Rune can't activate for mana. But yeah, I'm just going to Dimir Charm kill his Key Rune. So that was really good for me. I was able to sort of get a 3-for-1. Not really, because his Whispering Madness already gained him like 2 cards or 3 cards or something like that. But I was able to kill all the Cypher cards, and that's really what I needed to do. So I got this Last Thoughts, and I can cast it on my Keymaster Rogue to draw some extra cards, but I think that's just a little bit too risky, and I don't want to just draw my deck out when he's trying to mill me, so I'm not actually going to cast it. I don't really know if that was the right play. Maybe I should have, to try and kill him quicker and then give him less opportunities to draw into Mind Grind, because right now I'm really weak to that. If he just plays that, then I might like die on the spot. I don't know how many lands I have left because I can't really count the amount of lands in my graveyard. But I mean, I've got 7 on the battlefield and probably at least 3 in my graveyard. So if he mind grinds me for 7, then he can kill me. But it looks like he's only got 6 lands. He might have another one hiding on the side there. But even so, he's still a couple lands short of being able to kill me with the mind grind. Unless he's got some other mill action going on. But he's just going to hit me for 1 down to 22. And yeah, it looks like he's got at least 1 more land there. He's going to play another Sage's Road Denizen. So not really too big of a deal for me. I can definitely deal with that. I think I draw an Agoraphobia here. Not too good in the matchup because I mean it's okay if he's got like a Death Cult Rogue, then I can put it on it after he ciphers onto it, and it'll give me some advantage. But I can't put it on a Key Rune, so not really too good there. But that's gonna be game 1, and we're gonna move right on into game 2. Even though that was a super long one, and I am getting super tired. So this game he decides to put me on the play, I think. That's weird. I don't remember why I was on the play. Maybe I lost game 2? I just deleted it. Now, anyway, so he decides to put me on the play, and I guess he just decided drawing the extra card would be useful for him because, I mean, I'm not really killing him super quickly. It's kind of like a slow game anyway, so drawing the extra card at the beginning is definitely going to be pretty useful. But yeah, Metropolis Sprite, getting in there. It's a really good thing for me to draw on turn 2 because it'll just get in there for at least 2. I mean, it might not. See, the thing about Metropolis Sprite is if you can actually curve out, then it's not so good for you because you can't activate its ability every turn. But I'm just gonna play it for 2 and then play Duskmantle Guildmage. I had a Death Cult Rogue in hand that I could have played, but it works just as well to play the Guildmage here. Because assuming that he doesn't play something like a Sage's Road Denizen, it'll still get in. But I mean, I guess I could have played around him playing a Sage's Road Denizen because that seems pretty likely in this kind of scenario. Because he has shown to me to have at least 2 of them, and I actually knew he ended up having 5 of them. So he's going to tap 3 mana and play a Dimir Key Rune here. So he's actually also going to play a Realm Right, which I was like, what? You're not done yet? You just played a Key Rune. What are you going to play for 1 blue? And then I'm like, oh yeah, he's playing Realm Right. Not really too big of a fan of Realm Right. I guess you'll see in a later draft how it does for me. But yeah, in general, I don't really like Realm Right. So I'm just going to hit him for 4 here, and I think that I'm way in control of this game. I've got a Death Cult Rogue as well, and I think I've got a Hands of Binding in hand, so even if he does have something relevant, then I can just Hands of Binding it up and keep attacking with my Death Cult Rogue. So it puts me in a pretty good spot. I've also got a Scatter Arc in hand, so if I can actually end up holding up 4 mana, then that'll definitely put me in a good spot, because even if he does have like a good removal spell or something, then I can counter it. So I brought that in because I knew he was playing Mind Grind, and I knew he was playing some removal spells. He killed my thing of the Grizzly Spectacle. Did he kill another thing? I don't remember. Yeah, I think he played 2 Grizzly Spectacles in the first game, so that was really fortunate, and for me, it was just a really good sideboard for me, I think. Anyway, he's finally going to make his decision. He's going to play a Sage's Road Denizen here, and that's going to be fine. I mean, it's annoying that it'll hold off my Duskmantle Guildmage, but it's not really the end of the world. I can deal with that. So right now, or if he doesn't do anything else, he's got 2 mana up. I guess he can still play something, and it looks like he will. Sorry about that. Yeah, he's just gonna play an Illness in the Ring. So he was like sort of jokingly playing Illness in the Ring. It's obviously not really a good card, but it was for my Call of the Nightwing. So not quite so useful right here. Unless I draw that Call of the Nightwing, it's utterly useless. But I decided not to play the Hands of Binding here. I'm just going to pump my Metropolis Sprite and hit him for 4 and then leave Scatter Arc open. And if he plays a Grizzly Spectacle, then I'm happy, because then I can Scatter Arc it, I can get to draw that card, and it just puts me in good position, I think. If I'm able to counter that spell, get the 2-for-1 and everything. So he's got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana up. So I think he's going to play a Bane Alley Broker here. I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong before about commentating over my own games, which is really stupid, but you know, it happens. So yeah, he's going to play his Bane Alley Broker. And a little known fact about Bane Alley Broker, it is a rogue, so and it's a 0/3, so it can actually block Death Cult Rogue. So that'll definitely give me some desire to play my or it'll definitely make me want to play my Hands of Binding next turn, because otherwise my Death Cult Rogue can't get in. But if I play the Hands of Binding and tap down his Bane Alley Broker, then I can actually get in with my Death Cult Rogue. So it's pretty sweet. I do draw a Spell Rupture here, which is pretty sweet. I'm going to Hands of Binding his thing, and he's going to Psychic Strike that. But luckily for me, I just drew that Spell Rupture, so it would have been super annoying if I couldn't Scatter Arc it by 1 mana. I would have been pretty upset. But he's got no mana up, and I know that I'm not going to get a better chance to do this in the entire game. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to put it on the Death Cult Rogue or the Metropolis Sprite, but I'm just going to tap down his Bane Alley Broker and hit him for another 4 damage, taking him down to 6, and then I get to tap another thing down. Or I guess I just forgot to cast Hands of Binding again. It doesn't really matter since he's not going to be attacking with his Sage's Road Down his in anyway, but I guess it could have made it so that I could have attacked next turn with my Dustmantle Guildmage, as long as he doesn't play anything here. So it was definitely a mistake, but oh well. So now he's got that Whispering Madness Keyrune combo again, and I think, yeah, he's gonna cast it. So he forgets to activate his Keyrune here, and I'm not really sure what the ruling was, so I just decided to give it to him anyway. And he just ends up encoding onto that. It took a little while, so I just fast forwarded. But anyway, I'm just gonna hit him again for 4. His Bane Alley Broker's still tapped. And then I'm going to Hands of Binding, or I'm going to recast Hands of Binding and tap that. And now he basically has to find an answer to both my Death Cult Rogue and my Metropolis Sprite, or he's going to be dead. And so he's just going to attack me with his Dimir Keyrune, and what he doesn't realize is that Dustmantle Guildmage's ability, I can just activate that, and then he's going to, when he discards his 2 cards for Whispering Madness, he's actually going to die, because he's at 2 life. So that was a really interesting match. Neither of our decks were very good, but we're both trying something new. I was trying to play Dimir, didn't work out, and he was trying to play the mill deck, which he didn't really have much experience with. He had only ever used Boros before, and it was working out really well for him at that point. But by now he's experimented with a lot of the other decks. Anyway, really fun games, and yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Have a nice day. Bye.